Hi, Nadia.
Hello.
It has been a while.
Yes, it has. It's been a couple weeks.
Late at night on a Saturday, what did you do this evening?
I did my homework and I watched some March Madness games. None of my roommates are home, so I don't really have anything to do. And I wasn't
Where
also looking for anything to do today.
where are your roommates?
Home, two of them are home for the day, and one of my roommates has a sorority formal tonight.
So that's really cute. You sat at home, did homework, watched basketball, and what'd you have for dinner?
I went grocery shopping today and I got ravioli that I've had before from Trader Joe's. So I made that, but it was not as good as I remembered it being. So it was unsatisfying.
So I'm just curious, when you think about what you're going to have for dinner, how concerned are you about eating healthy for dinner? Are you
Or
like
like,
100% every time you try to eat healthy, or like you think about it sometimes?
I think for me personally, it's like an afterthought, which not necessarily a good thing, but it's as I'm eating, I'm like, most of the time it's as I'm eating, I'm like, oh, this is probably not like meeting all the food group requirements or whatever, but this is what I wanted to eat today. This is what we're going to go with. Not that I eat like super unhealthy or cook myself super unhealthy things, at least not all the time, but sometimes, usually it happens as an afterthought. Or if it is while I'm cooking, it's not, no, I don't have that many ingredients at my disposal. So I do what I can.
What is your perception of what is healthy eating? Like, what does it mean to eat healthy to you?
I think just a diverse food like group range. If I could have it my way, I would literally only eat carbs all the time. So I guess like adding other things in there that it's not just carbs. But I don't know. It's
You
hard
know,
when I cook for myself and I don't know how to cook very well.
you know what I think is interesting? It's been a million years since I was your age, but when I was your age and when I was in high school, so pretty much high school and college, the big message out there in the world was to eat low fat food. Like everything, that's the thing that they would market. Have these no fat, low fat cookies or this, whatever. Ice cream is healthy for you because it's non-fat, or so there was like a big focus on non-fat, low fat, and there was not a big focus on eating a lot of protein and reducing
Mm-hmm.
your carbs. But I would say that's probably the message that you get, right?
Yeah, but it's also like hard. I know we talk about this all the time, but with social media, and I've talked a lot about this with specifically my communication skills classes for public health. It's just hard when there's a lot of like yes, it's that, but then you add in like companies making all these like gut health like vitamins or pills, or celebrities making their own vitamins, and then like influencers trying to promote like their way of healthy eating, whether or not it's healthy or not. I don't know. I hear gut health a lot, which is an important thing to think about, and maybe it hasn't really been thought about a lot in the past, but it's usually coming from like a social media influencer like type perspective, which doesn't always come from an entirely educated like point of view. So it's hard to one get influenced by people on social media of seeing what they eat and what they say is the best things to eat, and then you're also just watching everyone and what they're eating every day and what they look like, and I don't know. So yes, it's the eat more protein and less carbs, but there's just so many other things that come into play that make it a little bit more difficult
You're
to
right.
navigate.
Gut health. That was not at all talked about
Yeah.
until maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago. I'm not sure, but gut health is a huge topic now. And it's interesting to be my age and to be able to look back and reflect on all of the different trends. And some of them
Mm-hmm.
have just been like trends and popular for some time, but faded away. And some of it is because we've learned more and we should keep that trend going. And some of it is maybe new information that we need to keep ourselves healthy, considering the environment or the situation or the
Right.
food supply situation that we've got ourselves into. Like maybe, and this is totally not my area of expertise, but maybe gut health is an important topic now because of the situation that we're in with our food. And it's not like necessarily a new discovery that too bad we didn't have that before. It's just maybe we didn't have to think about it as much before.
Yeah,
For
I think it's
sure.
both. I think definitely gut health should have been talked about before. They just didn't know to talk about it.
I think also we do know that there are things that are different now than they were before, like allergies. Do you know what orthorexia is?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's an eating disorder where you become obsessive about eating certain types of food. So I'm guessing you know what anorexia is, which is like a calorie restrictive diet, right? And then you know what bulimia is? But orthorexia is another type of disordered eating where you're not necessarily restricting calories. In the end, you do probably restrict your calories because the focus is on eating certain types of food. And it could be whatever you've decided to focus on, like whatever you've decided to be healthy and only eating healthy foods, or restricting all things that you think are allergenic foods. No gluten, no dairy, no, I don't know, whatever, no corn, no grains, or and so just like really focusing on eating what you've perceived to be healthy. And in the end, that may mean that you restrict your calories because you're so restricted in the foods that you can eat.
Yeah.
I think that could be an issue. Is that something that you've experienced before, moments of being obsessive about eating certain types of foods, or do you see that in your peers at all?
Yeah, I think it's mostly in my peers. I don't know. I wouldn't say I have a very healthy eating habit, eating style, or thoughts in relation to like my meals and stuff like that and nutrition, but I don't think I've been super hyper fixated on like eating a certain way, whether for better or for worse. But I do see that a lot with like friends and I guess family members too, but then also on social media. So yes, I do see that a lot. I just didn't know there was a term for it. But people tend to get really, I don't know, there's been many different influencers that have come up on my For You page that are like, get famous for only eating a certain diet, like certain foods in a certain way, like every single day for lunch. And they film it so everyone sees it and they're saying like, oh, it's helping me nutritionally. I don't know what they say about it, but they just get popular because of it. Like eating, like this one woman would eat like raw vegetables and sausage and fruit low key with like mustard and cottage cheese specifically, like just that.
What
Would
the heck?
film it. And at first people were like, this is just weird. I don't know why that seems really gross, like blah, blah, blah. But she kept filming it. People kept watching, people were trying it. Just, and now I always think about it. It's just something that, like, if I eat a certain food, I'm like, oh, I feel like that girl because she always used to eat like raw vegetables, and cottage cheese just turns me off, and I never want to have to eat it because of the way that it looks. But I don't know. So there's things like
That is so
it's
weird.
everywhere. Yeah.
It's weird. You know what would be really hard is like being in the world of gymnastics and dance my whole life. I've definitely seen a lot of restrictive calorie type disordered eating. And I think I mean, there's so many reasons that
Right.
people can be affected in that way. But I think that part of what contributes to it continuing is somebody being known for being somebody that doesn't eat very much. And then they feel, especially like a teenager, feel like, okay, everybody knows me as a person that doesn't eat very much. So I'm just going to continue to not eat very much. And maybe that person will eat in private, like whatever, outside of other people's view. That can contribute to it. But now you have like social media and your popularity on social media being dependent on you eating a certain way. Holy moly, that's like two double whammy.
Yeah.
Like
It's that, and then like people always want to make that what they're eating aesthetically pleasing, and I don't know. It's just there's a lot of like performance that goes into it. So
yes.
it's detrimental for those that are watching it, I think.
Yeah. How, when you're not having to do the performance, how does it end up making you feel?
Because then you're like, if in the same way that all things that influencers try to push on you, it's like, should I be doing it too? Is this something, I don't know, you rethink it. Not that I started eating the way that she did, but like with like influencers and their vitamins and celebrity vitamins, should I be taking these? I don't know who made them and what kind of, I don't know how they got the ability to make a vitamin, but should I be taking these? Because like it seems like everyone else is, and that they're doing things, I don't know, it's like
Isn't it crazy?
they're
Because the
helping.
influencer is just some random person that, for whatever reason, ended up becoming popular. Because you know how it's so random. Like, you've even
Yeah,
probably interacted with people in high school who have like lots and lots of followers,
right.
but you knew them in high school when they had 0 followers, and you're like, whoa, what happened? That's what
Yeah.
an influencer is.
And some people have the personality for it. But overall, I just like social media has very much impacted eating trends. And then, yeah. And then these like popular brands that are supposedly gut healthy and all that are just targeted straight towards like my population, the younger generation. So just get sucked into it.
Oh, gut health is everywhere because it's definitely being targeted to us too, older folks.
Yeah.
Are we trying to be influencers, Nadia, by doing
No.
this podcast?
Yes. But not in that way.
Not in that way. I think we're just trying to promote a good
I feel like I've
conversation
been
between
saying
mom and daughter.
influencers with a negative connotation, and I do mean that, but there are good influencers too.
All right, we should probably get some answers about where to find out what food trends or advice is actually what should be followed.
Yeah.
And I do think that if you talk to someone like a Western medicine person, a highly educated Western medicine person, they might say something different than a very highly educated naturopathic doctor or something like that. And so it's still going to be confusing. Ultimately, my feeling is that not all advice fits everybody, and you can take in the information from highly educated scientific sources, but then also you have to listen to your own gut.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for that pun, but
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
all right. Talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time. Bye.